Hey guys, welcome back to a brand new video. And in today's video, we are going to be looking at the 2021 Texas 6th Congressional District special election that's going to be happening on May 1st, and I'm filming this on April 30th, I think, or April 29th. So, uh, so I'm going to be filming this, and it's going to be uploaded the morning of this election. So, when you're watching this, it is going to be election day. If you live in the district, which I'm assuming, if I'm lucky, a couple of you are, please go. And if you're over the age of 18, if you're under the age of 18, it's encouraged that you don't vote. I'd rather you not get arrested for committing voter fraud. But if you're over the age of 18, please do go vote if you do live in this congressional district. So yeah. Now, just to talk about a few things on the channel first before we get into this video. A few things. First of all, I can't believe it's already May. That's insane. Second, I know I teased a big project a few weeks ago. Maybe it was even a month ago on the community tab. I think it was like 3 weeks ago. And don't worry, I've not forgotten about that. But the project's been taking a lot longer than expected. But I'm kind of in the stages of editing the video. I've already recorded the video. I'm editing it, and I'm trying to make it the highest quality video that I've ever posted. Highest quality video possible. I'm gonna post it, hopefully as soon as I can. But again, no promises to when it's going to be uploaded. I'm hoping to get it out by next week, but again, I don't want to be too premature because the way this project is gone, I might have to delay it again. But no, I did not forget about that. And if you're looking, I know someone asked me about it in the comments. Someone asked me about it in the comments of I think my some redistricting video that I did. So by all means, I have not forgotten about it, and I plan on uploading it as soon as I can. But just to answer those questions, and I'm going to try to be pivoting towards only uploading every other day. I know I've been doing daily uploads, but that's because I've been kind of, I guess I've had more free time than I expected. But again, I'm going to try to only upload every other day starting now. But, this isn't going to be strictly my schedule. I'm going to do what's best for me. But videos are going to come out at the very least every other day, every 10 o'clock on the Pacific Coast, which is where I live, or if you live on the East Coast, which I know a lot of you do, 1 p.m. So, now, taking a look at this election, this is a big election. This is going to be an important election, and this is going to be competitive. It's going to be close. I think that both parties have a pretty good chance at, for the Democrats, gaining the seat, and for the Republicans, holding control of the seats. So, a few things. There aren't many polls on this race. I mean, we can maybe take a look at polling, but I don't want to talk about that. What we should be talking about is the actual geography of where the seat is, first of all. So, Texas is a gerrymander state. There's no getting around it. I mean, we can just, it's, this map is designed to pack, here's a good example. This district, this kind of takes Austin, San Antonio, just combines all of that, just tried to make it a super Democratic district. This district probably went blue by 60 or 70% in 2020 because it was meant to pack the Democrats into a district. Now, there's also examples of cracking Democrats. This district is just meant to run along the rural areas of kind of Texas border with Mexico. So you have Hispanic voters down here voting Democrat usually, but this district was meant to be, and this is a narrow Republican district. So there are examples of packing and cracking all of its map of Texas. This is a shameful map, honestly, and it's really sad how gerrymandered Texas is. We can talk about other gerrymanders too, on the other side of the equation. Look at this horrendous map of Maryland. It's terrible. But, so just taking a look at this seat. This is a seat it's kind of suburban exurban. Over here is kind of the more rural part of the seat, but the kind of more densely populated part of the congressional district is actually part of Tarrant County, which is the suburban Dallas County that did flip to Joe Biden in 2020. He became the first Democrat to win it since LBJ in 1964. He only won it by 0.2 or 3%. It was very close in 2020. But nevertheless, he won it. In fact, the Democrats in this election actually did win Tarrant County, or the part of Tarrant County. They won it by around 6%, pretty much. I'm going to say, sorry, 5%. I misread that. So they won it by around 5%, but that's not all of Tarrant County. It's kind of misleading. But just so you guys know, Tarrant County is the Democratic part of the district. And then Ellis County, as well as Navarro County, are the more Republican areas of the district. But as you can see, the majority of the votes did come from Tarrant County. So, just to take a look at what's expected to happen. Again, it's expected to be competitive, and the district is trending blue. This was a safe Republican district, 10 years ago. It's been pretty close. Now, the reason that I think the Democrats shouldn't feel great about this election is because of the runoff rule, and there are a few candidates. I mean, we can take a look at. Like, there are a lot of Republicans, but there are also major Democrats in the race, most notably Lydia Bean and Janice Sanchez, and she actually was the candidate for the Democrats in 2018. So again, just taking a look at this race, there are a lot of people who are running, and I don't know a lot about most of them. I can maybe say a few things, but this is going to be a jungle primary. I don't expect any candidate to get 50% of the vote. Maybe someone comes close, but either way, I think the reason that the Democrats are going to lose this race is because they are going to with all these candidates. I just don't see the Democrats in a special election. It doesn't really determine anything except one House vote. I don't think the Democrats are really going to invest money in this, and I don't think they're going to turn out, the way I could be wrong. Georgia proved a lot of people wrong, but Georgia, those runoffs determine control of the Senate. This does not determine control of the House. This is one election is going to be competitive. It was competitive in 2020. This was it was a single digit win for the Republicans, but again, I think if you're looking at this race as a toss up and saying that if the Democrats don't come out here and win, they're in trouble, I think you're looking at this the wrong way. Because when you have a jungle primary like this, where you have candidates kind of really stacked close together, I'm not sure that the Democrats are in a position where they can win this. And the people that have rated this have it as leaning likely Republican. And with all these candidates, no one's going to get half the vote. And realistically, we're going to see a runoff on May 24th, and then the Democrats would probably end up losing that race by maybe even more than they lost in 2020. So I think that what we should be looking for here is, can the Democrats come, because of the Democrats in the May 1st election, if they come within 5 points, if we combine the Democrats and the Republicans, and we, say the Democrats in total get 48% of the vote, and the Republicans get 51% of the vote, the Libertarian gets 1% of the vote. That's a win for Democrats. If they can combine for 48% of the vote, help maybe even 46 or 47, that's a win for them. And I think that that's what they should be looking for. If they win this race somehow, which I'd be very surprised if they do, especially if it falls into a runoff, which it's going to, that is huge. And I think that that's a really bad sign for the Republicans. That's even worse than that would be like, I'd be very surprised if that were to happen. Now, I'm not saying it's not going to be competitive, but I think there's a difference between a race being close and a race being competitive. I think that this race can be close, but I don't think it's going to be competitive. The Democrats aren't really talking about this race. They're not hyping it up. Back in December and January, we saw the Democratic Party pouring a lot of money into into those runoffs and saying, you have to vote, otherwise no stimulus checks, for example. Well, they're not doing the same thing here. That they don't have the Democrats don't have the luxury of saying, if we don't win the seat, it's going to be terrible. They don't have the luxury to do that. They have control of the House, they have control of the Senate, they have control of the White House. So I think that with that being said, I'm going to rate the seat as likely Republican. I'd expect the Democrats to combine for, Stephen Daniel got 44% of the vote here. He lost by nearly 9%. I think the Democrats are going to do better than Stephen Daniel. The Democrats are going to combine for a better percentage than Stephen Daniel, but not going to be enough to win. I think they're going to lose 46 to 57. So that's a likely margin. It's not safe. I think that if it goes into a runoff where the Democrats just aren't engaged with, they're probably not going to be. It's close to safe, but at this point, I think it's going to look like the Republican. Again, we shouldn't be looking at who's going to win. We should be looking at, can the Democrats combine for 47-48% of the vote? If they can, I think that's a win for them because of the turnout that they're getting, especially from Tarrant County, which is shifting to the left. And we're going to have to see how far Tarrant County shifts to the left in this election. But I think that's going to be it for this video. I just wanted to talk about this really briefly. I didn't go as in depth as I'd like to go, mostly because I don't have too much knowledge about this race, but I wanted to give you guys some basic information about it. So that's pretty much it for this video. If you enjoyed, please do leave a like, subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you all in the next one. Goodbye.